Saturday, and it's the first home game for the Buckeyes against Oregon. The Oregon Ducks, I think it is, according to Tom. And this is Tony Hall, along with Tom Lyons. Welcome to another edition of Street Talk, the show that asks the people of Columbus what's on their minds. And the question for today is, what do you think about the Korean jumbo jetliner getting blown to smithereens by the Russians, and what do you think should be done about it? Why did the Russians do it? And there are a lot of questions that have yet to be answered, and I'm sure that by the time this show gets on the air, we'll already know all the answers. But in the meantime, Tom, let's go over here and cast this virtual flood of people as they approach the stands here, and ask them a couple of questions. How you doing? We're asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down the jumbo jetliner? What do you think their motivation was behind that?
I don't know, just basically to show the world they really don't care about human rights and just want to attack people. You know,
They wanted to show the world that they don't care about human rights?
Really, that's secondary to them, what I would think. You know, because they really don't care about people because everybody's controlled over there more so.
So protecting their territory is more important than human rights?
Evidently, to them, I think it is.
Yeah. What do you think we should do about it?
I think we should do more than what they've done now, but really, it would hurt us more economically than it would anything, and at this time, we don't need that.
Yeah, it could be dangerous too, right? Roger, what do you think? Why did the Russians do it?
I agree with him.
Okay, great. Well, thanks a lot. Have a good time. Hi there. We're asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down the jumbo jetliner?
Oh, I don't think much of it.
You don't?
No.
Okay, thanks anyway. Okay. Hi there. We're asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner? Why'd they do it?
I think they wanted to start something, that's why.
With us or the Koreans?
Sure, with us.
Why? It's too dangerous, isn't it?
No.
They're picking a fight with us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's plain and
They just want to figure whatever they can do here, they can do the Afghans and whatever, anybody else that's along.
What do you think we should do about it?
Cut off all foreign trade, any kind of trade with them. Everybody in the world should.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. There, asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner?
I don't know.
You don't know? Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I don't want to. It's just a bunch of politics, I guess.
You think they did it for politics?
I think because that's anti.
That's 610 WTVN.
The congressman. You know,
Congressman?
that
They
was
wanted to shoot down the McDonald's.
Well, I think he had something to do with it.
Oh, okay, great. What do you think we should do about it?
I don't know. It's real touchy.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
you just, can't blow him off the face of the earth or anything. And vice versa. Here's a man who knows his politics. Get him.
Okay. Hey, guys. Hi there. Hi. We're asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner? What's their motivation behind that?
It's hard telling what motivates the Russians.
What do you think we ought to do about it?
Well, there's not much realistically you can do. Pretty much all they've done so far, I guess.
No, although the United States did admit that they had a spy plane out there, but not near it.
Right.
Which I wondered why we had that out there.
Yeah. You think so? You think it's our fault?
No, I don't think it's our fault. I don't think they should have set down a civilian one anyway.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Okay, Tom, well, let's...
People on the grass back here.
The people on the grass. Tom's stepping on the cord here. We're getting a lot of sound breakup, Tom?
As long as you don't rub the cord.
Okay. Don't rub the cord, he says. Okay. Hi there.
Man on the street. Hi there.
Man of the street. Street Talk. How you doing?
Hi.
We're asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner? What was their motivation behind that?
I think they're paranoid.
Because they're paranoid?
I think they're paranoid. I think that they were certain that we're sending people over there looking at their things.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think it was justified in any way?
From what I know, I don't think...
They're saying we should have known better, and we were risking the lives of those 269 people beyond...
And it's not the first plane that's been over there.
Right, it's not the first time.
Territory.
Right, so they're telling us that we should have known.
I don't think that we watched the different airlines to see where they're flying. I don't think it's our government's business to make sure that all our airlines are flying in the right space, and I think that I don't agree with their treatment of it. I think they could have, from what they're telling us, they could have done much to warn it and try to get it down.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, here we go.
Hi there, asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down that Korean jumbo jetliner?
I think it was a terrible thing.
Why'd they do it?
Don't know any better, I guess.
They don't know any better?
Yeah.
How about you?
I agree. I think they don't look at things in the same fashion that we do, and they have a, I'm not talking about just their people, but their leaders have a cruel streak that seems to show up again and again.
What do you think we should do about it?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm with whatever President Reagan's doing. I admire him.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
I went back on the grass, got some sitting people.
Two people sitting over here. That's it. And then we're back out in the. Okay, well, we got 4, and whoever we can talk to right here. And how you doing? Asking people, why do you think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner? What's their true motivation in your mind?
Conquest of the world, eventually.
That was step one.
Well, I think that's their bottom line. I think the book, You Can Trust a Communist to Be Communist, is true. They want world domination, and every little step that they do, anything they do, is in line with that goal.
So shooting down a plane means they want to take over the world?
No, it means they have no respect for human rights. It means they have no respect for the individual. It just means they want to take over the world, that's all.
Okay, what do you think we should do about it?
I think President Reagan's doing about the right thing. If he does too much, the liberals will get on his case. So he can't really do he can't invade Moscow, right?
Right, he just can't drop the bomb, right?
So he's right in line with what I would expect a man to do, and I support the guy 100%.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Hi there. Oh, you're running to the high. You have a minute?
No, I haven't.
Doesn't have a minute.
I don't think it matters at all to them.
They're willing to start a war and knowing that it could mean world destruction?
Yeah. They don't. Life doesn't matter to them. They don't care.
So what do you think we should do in retaliation?
I don't know what we can do. We're a different type of people than the Russians. We believe in different things. And they just don't care about human life. And the consequences mean nothing to them. So they have nothing to lose.
Serious, a question for a day like this?
That's a great question. Come on.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, let me ask this girl right here. Excuse me. What? Zoom in on. Isn't she cute? Okay. This man is absolutely right. It's too serious. Okay, well, let's move over here. Hi. It's a great day to ask a depressing question. Why do you think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner? There's a warrant out for this man's arrest.
They didn't know any better?
Do you really think that?
In a sense, yeah.
You mean they just kind of did it by mistake and they're sorry they did it, but they're trying to save face now?
That may well be. I also think it's a matter of they know that they could probably get away with it and we weren't going to do anything.
The lighting on his face is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keep it right there. What do you think we should do about it?
Make the Sakhalin Island a big green parking lot.
Okay. How about you?
Why do I think they did it?
Yeah.
I think they did it because they're the Russians, and that's what was expected out of them. It was a test.
We should expect that from them?
Yeah, you'd have to test them. If we flew over Cuba, they'd, probably do it again.
Okay, what do you think we should do about it?
I don't.
What do you think should be done?
The time doing anything about it. I don't think they'll find anything in the black box that's in the water. I don't think that there'll be any, restitution made by the Russians at all.
Not one red cent to the victims, huh?
I think that's up to the insurance companies. I don't think the government should have to pay for that.
I don't know. I can't begin to understand their motives. I think it's horrible, just horrible.
What do you think is a good form of world reaction to something like this?
Well, probably the only thing would be ostracism in an economic sense. That's the only thing that would hurt them.
Like a grain embargo or something?
Something like that.
Think it'll be effective?
Well, it would take the cooperation of everyone involved, then it would be effective.
Okay. Pardon me?
That hurts more people here in the United States for a grain embargo. That I don't think so.
That'll hurt the farmers, right? And ultimately Reagan, right?
Yeah, and me. I got to buy all the food.
I guess to show their supremacy that they think they have.
Okay. That's a pretty big risk, wouldn't you say?
Well, they have a different mentality than we do, so they probably didn't think it was a risk.
You think it was ordered from the top or from the regional sales manager?
Well, that's hard to say. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
What do you think is an appropriate reaction to something like this?
Well, I'd move troops into every country that they're trying to push communism in and just squelch it. We've got the economic power to do it, then do it.
Okay, so just come down on them really hard militarily.
Not militarily, but just to show that the troop actions, that we have the troops available.
Is that tobacco in that cigar, or is that something else? It's tobacco. Okay. It smells kind of funny, you know. What about you? Why do you think the Russians did what they did?
I really haven't the faintest idea. I don't think we can understand either because we don't think the way they do.
So it's just a matter of totally different world outlook.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You think that they're a little paranoid, or do you think it was just a logical extension of their world outlook?
Well, anything that I would be saying here, too, is a little bit influenced by what we hear from the media and everything else. And from what we do here, they are a little bit paranoid, but that's just an opinion of our media.
Yeah. Do you think our government's being on the level? I mean, do you think maybe we were involved in some kind of espionage or reconnaissance?
We already admitted that we were.
We did?
Sure we did. We did say we had spy planes out there. I think we're being more on the level than the Russians are.
Not having admitted it for a week. Took them a long time to admit it, right? But let's not editorialize. We're trying to be objective here. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay. Back in the shade, Tom says. By the building. Okay, too contrasty. We're going to take a little walk here. Is it over? Is that it? Okay, we're going to be back in the shadows here. I look too white when the sun's on me anyway. Tape's running out. Hi, asking people why they think the Russians shot down that jumbo jetliner. Everybody's got their own theory about it. The Russians say why they did it. We have our own ideas, our leaders. What do you think?
Don't ask me.
Pretty funny subject, isn't it? Okay, let's go to Dad. Dad, what do you think?
Well, personally, I think they made a mistake. I don't think they deliberately shot down. And now I don't think they have the nerve to admit that somebody made a bad decision.
That's my view, too. Oh, but okay, I'm not supposed to say that. Okay, now what do you think should be done about it?
That's a difficult question because I think in the national, international relations today that you can't do what you probably might want to do. And other than talk about it, I mean, we've got to survive and we've got to live with them, even though it's two different ways of life.
Two different ways of thinking.
Right, definitely.
Okay, so you don't think that we should go in militarily and do anything rash like they did?
Oh, no, no.
How about economically?
Well, I would think we could do something economically, again, only if we can get the support of some allies. I mean, if it's just us that stops and somebody else picks it up, we're not going to gain what we want to gain.
We stop selling grain, then somebody else sells it to them.
Our people suffer and the Russians don't suffer at all.
Yeah. Okay, great. What do you think?
I think the same thing. I think limiting the air traffic was about as strong as we can get right now.
Was it just target practice?
Just crazy, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Are those Buckeyes around your neck?
Oh, yeah.
Growing in your yard. Okay. You don't know why they did it then? You don't even have your own theory.
Anyone knows why they did it. Not really. I don't think I ever will know.
What do you think we should do about it?
Let's drop the big one and see what happens.
Drop the big one and see what happens. Okay.
Got to be a Randy Newman fan.
This is Randy Newman.
Yeah.
This guy makes Ronald Reagan look like George McGovern. Okay. What do you think? Why did the Russians do it?
I really don't know.
What do you think we should do about it?
I think we should wait till we know a little bit more about it before we do anything.
A tempered response. How about you? Why'd they do it?
No comment.
No comment. How about you, Dad?
I think they're a nation of barbarians. That's why they did it.
I want to get this line of people here if we can. Some folks coming up here. Ready?
Yep.
I need a little more room towards me. Hi, we're asking people why they think the Russians shot down the Korean airliner.
Why they shot down the airliner?
Yeah, was it a mistake or was it deliberate?
I think it was deliberate. I think they're paranoid is what I really believe. I think they're paranoid of the rest of the world. So.
Well, what do you think we ought to do about it?
It's kind of hard to say. You really don't want to start a war over the whole thing, but I think Reagan's doing what he should do. You know, at least let them know that we're a little irritated about it.
Okay, how about you?
Basically the same thing. I don't know if they really think it was the spies or not, but that's what they say.
Okay. I thought the stupidest thing was yesterday when they said that the airliner rendezvoused with a spy plane. What are they going to do when they rendezvous with a spy plane? True. Wave at each other, you know. True. So what?
Yeah.
You know. So it's ludicrous. It really is.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Tony, let's go along here.
Microphone break up.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm moving it too much over here in my hand. We got a sunny situation here. Some people having a what do you call these tailgate parties? Luau. Hi, how are you? We're asking people why they think the Russians shot down the Korean airliner.
They wanted to protect their borders.
What do you think we ought to do about it?
Retaliate stronger than we have.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm probably not smart enough to know exactly what we should do, but we should take some more forceful action than we have.
What do you think we ought to do?
Everything humanly possible. I'd shut them off all free world airports. I'd look for opportunities to retaliate in the same fashion.
Okay, great. How do you feel about that?
I agree pretty much with what Pete said.
You do? What if we don't get any support from our allies, though, the rest of the world, and we're just sort of doing it by ourselves for 2 weeks like we did with the grain embargo?
We should be strong enough to handle that.
Strong enough to handle it. Okay. How about you? Why do you think the Russians shot down the Korean airliner?
I think for a show of force and show their strength. They're trying to, communism is spreading throughout the world right now. And I think with the Afghanistan thing and everything else that they've been in for a number of years and working, to show the free world that they are still strong and powerful.
That's a good point. What do you think we should do?
No, I wouldn't say press a button. No, that's too far to go. You're going to have to go on the diplomatic side. You're going to, you're talking your embargoes, the grain sales and everything like this. That's about the only thing you can really do, because if you get into the wars, what you're looking for is nothing but buttons, and that's not going to settle anything, because we'll be all gone anyways.
Tailgate parties. I guess we're in the middle of this is the first football game of the year. The Oregon Beavers, or who are they, Tony? The Ducks or something, or the Hi, how are you? We're asking people why they think the Russians shot down the airliner.
No comment.
No comment. Okay, how about you? Any comment?
About the Russians shooting down the...
Why do you think they did that?
There was spy equipment on the plane. I really didn't give it much thought as to why.
Yeah?
Just that they did it.
Just that they did it.
Various provocations, Berlin Wall, etc.
Just to be provocative. What do you think we ought to do about it?
One thing that came to mind at the time was that you could get one of their commercial airliners and just keep it for about a month.
Oh, okay.
Until they explained what they were doing.
I guess some radicals in Mozambique, Tony, have kidnapped some Russian soldiers or some Russian somebody, and they're holding them until they get the pilot of the fighter plane.
Huh.
Yeah, I just read that. Thing. How about you? How do you feel about the Russians shooting down the Korean airliner?
Well, I think it was an unjust thing to do, but I'm not really sure their exact criteria for why they did it.
What about retaliation by us? Anything in mind, or?
No, not really. I think it's a difficult position that we're in, and I don't know what exactly we would do in retaliation that wouldn't be too extreme or too light.
Great. Thank you. Here we go. Hi, how are you? We're asking people why they think the Russians shot down the Korean airliner. The Americans. We're with a cable show here in Columbus. It's called Communism Today. No, I'm only kidding.
We were just saying.
Somebody obviously made a horrible mistake.
Just a mistake, huh?
Obviously.
Yeah, you don't think they did it on purpose?
Well, certainly they did it on purpose, but I don't think they did it as barbarians. I don't know,
Well, I think they obviously have a hang-up about anybody approaching their shores and or their airspace, and anybody gets too close to it. If the Korean pilot made a mistake, that's what's going to happen.
Well, what do you think we can do about this? Anything, or
just what they've done? That's the best. That's about all they can do. I think President Reagan has done exactly the right thing.
Okay, good. Thanks, Tony. How about over this way? People are beginning to wrap up their picnics and head out to the stadium.
I don't think there's too much they can do about it. It's a situation where anything that you really do to have any effect on them is probably going to hurt us just as much or worse. It's a political ball game that they're going to have to deal with.
Okay. How about you? Why do you think the Russians shot down the Korean airliner?
What you laughing about?
Was it a mistake, or was it intentional, or what do you think?
No, I believe that this was something that they had planned for some bit of time. They were just waiting for their opportunity to come along. And I think it was just a personal show of strength. I think that they had pre-committed themselves to doing this if this should occur again. And when it did, the command was already set up and they just did it.
Do you think we're doing enough right now as a sort of resistance, or to show our displeasure with it, or?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the president's doing everything he can do at this point, and I think it's a matter of some unity among the allies to respond this together, and not just a unilateral thing on the part of the United States.
Okay, good. Thank you. How about these folks over here, Tony? Hi, we're asking people why they think the Russians shot down the Korean airliner. Was that a mistake or intentional, or?
Well, I think on the part of the people who issued the orders, it was intentional. I'm sure that the hierarchy of the Soviet government was not aware of the situation.
Do you think if Andropov had not been on vacation, it may have made a difference, or?
Well, I
probably could have contacted him anyway, really, I suppose.
Well, I would imagine so, but I'm sure that if he or the other members of the Politburo would have known about it, that the orders would not have been issued.
Yeah. So it was a mistake, then, in your opinion?
Sort of a mistake. I say that I think the person who issued the orders knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, what do you think we should do about it? Are we doing enough, or no?
Well, I think any further steps are going to lead to more confrontation, and I'm not sure that is probably healthy with the armament that the Soviet Union has to their availability right now.
Yeah. How about you? How do you feel about that whole issue?
I agree with the fact that I think that they knew exactly what they're doing, and I think it's a cover job. You know, I'm sure that they have, their opinion is that they will admit to having done it, but they have to save face.
It's taken them a long time to really kind of say that they finally did it. So it just seems like it may have been either a big mistake or just it's hard to believe that they did that intentionally.
Well, and I think any steps that the United States takes has to be supported by other nations, or we're going to be like we were the last time and stuck out in front all by ourselves.
Right. So you think we're doing enough right now to retaliate, or?
I've only heard the first steps. I didn't really know what the full plan is.
Okay, great, thank you. How about you? How do you feel about the whole issue? Do you think we're doing enough to punish them for shooting down the airplane?
I think they're probably doing what they can do right now. I certainly don't think we should go to war.
Yeah. Okay, good, thank you. Tony, how about over here? These people are, this guy's got I think he's got some beer in here. Hi. I'm asking people how they feel about the Russians shooting down the Korean airliner.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah, was that a mistake on their part, or was it in a deliberate thing?
Oh, I'd say it's probably a serious error, but I think it's disgusting that I get their act together.
What do you think we should do about it?
Well, I would suggest just a lot of pressure, trying to get the other nations to stand up and say something about it. I'm a little tired of everybody else sitting back and letting us, say what should be done and not getting some support.
Do you think we're doing enough, or do you think it's going to make any difference, all this rhetoric?
I would say they're really feeling the pressure. You wouldn't be getting the strong statements from them that you're getting right now if they weren't really trying to make as much ground back as they've lost. I think they realize in the entire world's eyes they've really suffered, and in terms of.
Do you think they care about that?
Do they care about it all?
Their image?
Sure, I think they do. They depend on foreign trade and their influence in the rest of the world just like we do. So I think they care a lot more than they let on.
Yeah.
And I think the pressure should be kept up. But in terms of military actions or something like that, I don't think that would be appropriate.
Here we go over here. Hi, we're asking people how they feel about the Russians shooting down the Korean airliner. Do you think that was a mistake on their part or a deliberate thing? Or?
I think it was an appalling situation, and I think now they're doing their best to cover it up.
Yeah, so you think it was a deliberate thing?
I think it was deliberate at the local level. I don't think that decision would have been made very high up in the government. It would have been very unwise on their part, and I think now that it was a decision made at the local level and they're trying to cover up for it.
Yeah. Are we doing enough to retaliate?
I think we're doing everything we can at this time.
It's not going to, do you think it's going to amount to much, or?
What do you mean amount to?
In terms of, is it just going to be rhetoric and a dead issue in a few more weeks or months, or?
I hate to say that it's going to be forgotten in the near future, but I do tend to think that it will be given less and less attention in the next few weeks.
I believe it was deliberate in the fact that they didn't try to make more contact than they said they did. So I think it was very tragic.
I think it was awful, and if I was the President of the United States, I would shoot down 5 or 6 of their planes, honestly, an eye for an eye. And I think it was wrong.
Do you agree with Carter's grain embargo against the Russians over Afghanistan?
I'm not a farmer myself, but yes, I would cut it off. I wouldn't do anything for them. They can't live without us. We can't live without them, so let's retaliate a little bit.
Okay, good. I think that's good.
Thanks. Better be.
Hi, how do you feel about the whole thing?
Well, it's a terrible tragedy, but right now we're sitting back and seeing France not join us. Why don't we cut off France's flights to the United States? We got to do something strong to make the world believe that we mean what we say. That's all.
Okay. How about you? How do you feel about the whole thing? Are we doing enough right now to retaliate?
What can we do, really?
Yeah.
We can't fight back, or we might plunge the whole world in war.
Right.
And I think that at this point our hands are tied.
Other than some strong rhetoric and a few passing...
without plunging us into war.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come back again.
Yeah, it smells good.
Would you like a hot dog?
No, thanks. We got to finish this up. This is cable channel 3. Tony just got the bad news a little while ago that the whole first tape we did of Tony didn't turn out because the filter was on the wrong filter, which means Tony's got to do his thing all over again. But we enjoy doing this, really. Once we get rolling here, we enjoy walking around with our backs to the camera. Is my hair a mess again, as usual? Or?
Eva Gabor.
I've got my Eva Gabor wig in the car. The stadium is filling up, Tony. I don't know if you can see anybody there, but we want to remind everybody also that Street Talk is on Tuesdays at 11 and Friday nights at 11:30 on cable channel 3.